Hey guys, so before the podcast starts, I wanted to talk to you about a few things in the podcast. First off, we reference a name that we no longer use for the podcast. I work with my team a little bit and we decided that that's not the title, but it would have been too much to cut it all out just to make it make sense. So I left it in there. You guys can laugh at me, it's cool. Since we recorded it so long ago and not with all the greatest equipment that we do now, thank God, the video footage is just very bad and I don't want to give you guys bad content. So for this podcast, it's going to be audio only. I hope you guys enjoy. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe and enjoy.
Well, that's excellent.
Take one and
All right, is that recording?
oh shit! Action.
We can hear that pretty well.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Welcome to the Jungle Podcast. Where we talk. God damn it. Let me restart. Cut. All right.
All right.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Jungle Podcast, where we talk about wild shit
Yeah.
and be our wild selves.
Yeah.
I'm in your frame. I'm in my frame. Cool. Let's get it started. Hello, my brother. How are you doing
Hello.
today?
I am doing
Dude,
fantastic.
I am so. You have no idea how fucking excited.
It's gonna be fun. It's
I'm
gonna be
so
good.
excited that I mean, you've been with me on this journey of doing this. How many
Forever.
years? It's
Forever.
yeah, it's taken me way too long to even start this entire process. Guys, if you have any comments, suggestions, if you have anything that you want to see on this podcast, please do me a favor. Write it down below in the comments, and we will do our absolute best. Santino's our semi-permanent guest. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. Yeah. We're gonna. If you guys like Santino, you want him on more, please like and subscribe. Tell me if you do, and we'll see what we do from here on out. I want to have more people on the podcast, but Tino's the
There we go.
freaking homie, dude.
Are we good? I think. How does it look? How does it look?
Looks fucking beautiful.
Okay, good.
Um,
That's good.
Alrighty, brother.
it.
So I actually wanted to start off kind of on a serious note.
Uh oh.
I-
Uh oh. That's never good.
Well, actually, let me give a little background. So Santina's been my best friend for probably
9 years, 10 years.
it's been a
something like that.
long time.
Well, if you think about it, you went to middle school with my brothers when
yeah, that's how I first met Santino.
in 8th grade.
Yeah.
And that was what, 12, 13 in 8th grade?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we're 21 now. We'll be 22 this year.
Holy shit.
So if you about 9 years, yeah.
I know.
9
Wow, when you
years.
put it in like that, man, it's
Time
it feels
goes, man.
really long. So let me think. I met you through your brother, and your brother was a really good friend of mine in middle school.
Mhm.
And I want you to talk a little bit more about yourself because you guys had a semi-successful boy band together.
Mhm.
But what happened? Like, tell me
Like all the
everything.
tea?
Tell me. Actually, I don't think I've ever had you tell me this.
All the tea.
No. I mean, we'll keep it concise, but I know you had. I don't think I've ever asked you guys how it started. You know, like the very
Like
beginning.
the group, you mean? Like,
Yes, like how, because it went from Seaboy Stars, if I'm not
like
mistaken,
all
and then
that.
yeah, like
Okay.
I know all the trivial like recent stuff
Like the-
with
yeah.
how you guys how it didn't go the way you guys wanted it to,
Mhm.
but I want to know like
What
how did it
happened?
start? Did your mom start it? Did you
Mhm.
guys decide as kids? Like explain it.
Yeah.
Explain it for the fans.
Okay.
Like how did you guys start?
Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of a long story, but we started out actually in sports. It's kind of how it really started. We started
Okay.
with sports. We played a lot of baseball, basketball, but we just never really like clicked with it. Never really stuck. So we gave acting a try. So we were actors for a long time. We did a bunch of commercials for like the Nevada Census, for like Kroger, that grocery store,
Uh huh.
all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah.
And so then we decided to stop doing the acting. We did the like musical theater route, so it was kind of like both acting and singing. And I had to audition. I had to sing this song from Willy Wonka. I forgot what it's called, but I sang it. Just learned it and sang it. My mom was like, "Wow, you can actually like sing. You actually can sing pretty good, Yeah. So she threw me in some vocal lessons, and then Gianni and Dante also took solo lessons. And then after all that, my mom was like, "Why don't you guys like try singing together for fun? Just whatever." And yeah, sure enough, we would draw crowds here and there, and it was a good time. It was fun.
And so, like, what age were you during that time?
Like, probably 6, 7, and 8. And then we decided to form the group when I was just before I got into the Love Show. So it was like 2008 is when we started to do it as a group, like as like serious, like boy band type stuff. So I did the Love Show first. I did that for about a year and 2 months. It was the Cirque du Soleil Love Show. For you guys who don't know, it's on the Strip. And then we did we would do performances like San Gennaro Feast and like little gigs here and there and stuff like that, because we're new and we don't have a lot of fan base or anything, but people, they loved it. They just loved the three brothers dancing and singing like Alvin and the Chipmunks, like the Jonas Brothers. We get all those comparisons all the time.
Of course.
So yeah,
I mean, all you guys had like those boy band haircuts.
We had the tight muscle shirts and tight skinny jeans, like so tight. And they had the Converse.
That sounds absolutely terrible on a pair of like teenagers. I know women like that. We know when they're like grown men, but not.
But we didn't care, man. We were like 11, 10. We didn't care about our image at that point. We're just like, we want to look cool, no matter what we're wearing.
So then, when did it change and become serious for you guys?
Well, so after we like decided to be C-Boy Stars, we decided to make merch and stuff because we were getting pretty popular with like San Gennaro. We would start to go on like regular show times, like around 8, because that's like prime time at those kinds of festivals,
Yeah.
And like First Fridays and stuff. So we started gaining some popularity and things.
I took off my glasses because I thought it was special.
To be dramatic.
I can't see shit now. Yeah, do it.
So yeah, we did all the performances, all that kind of stuff. We started making merch, and then we started making original music. We started going to California, and we met up with this guy's name is. Oh, actually, probably shouldn't say his name, huh?
Yeah, we'll just call him a producer or what?
We'll just say he was Vanessa Hudgens' producer at the time. This is like around High School Musical.
Somebody's gonna go and find out who this person was at that time.
It's fine, but. Yeah. Basically, he got in a lot of trouble with Vanessa and all this stuff because Vanessa Hudgens is Vanessa Hudgens. Can't really touch her stuff. But anyway, he was super nice.
Does she still have a music career? I don't even know.
Not really.
Oh,
but
we won't talk about it.
But so he got us in the studio. We did like 3 songs, I think. My mom wrote all the songs. We didn't write any of the songs at the time. Yeah.
Did she write the arrangements too, like by voice part and everything like that?
No. She just wrote the words, and then the producer we were working with made the melodies and stuff with the beat.
Yeah.
And obviously they weren't that good. Obviously, come on.
What were they? Have I heard any of them?
So the first one was Brothers for Life. Yeah. The second one was Shoot for the Stars, and the third one was Our Time Together. And I don't think
that's
any
cute.
of it's my mom wrote the songs. You have to understand. So yeah, I think Our Time Together is still actually out there somewhere.
Really?
It's probably on YouTube or something.
We need to find. We need to. You know what we need? We need a. We need like a Jeremy. Like in Joe Rogan's podcast where we have somebody look that up for us. We could put a little desk right there and have like Quentin.
We'll have somebody just do it real quick.
Oh yeah.
But
so we can look and we're like, oh my, that'd be a great idea.
That was our go-to.
Putting a projector right there and just, oh dude.
Just
you guys wait. This shit, it's not even. I'm putting we because I want Santino to be a part of this as much as possible. I'm kind of like forcing him to do it in some ways. But I have made this room, and I've been trying to make it
really
like
nice.
Pleasing for you guys. And I didn't want to like shorten the quality because I'm impatient, and I'm an extremely impatient person. So I wanted to make this as nice as possible.
Right.
But we're growing. We're growing.
Nice.
It'll get there.
Right. Yeah.
Give us some time. It's like it's like
steps.
like an onion. Like the outside layers might be bad, but if you just peel it back. Oh my god, what the fuck am I saying? Okay, let's go on with your story. Go on with your story.
So we did our biggest show as C-Boy Stars. We did this concert at the Eastside Cannery, and it was like just a bunch of random artists from California. They came to Vegas. They were like on a tour essentially, and they asked us to perform. And we did Our Time Together because that was our big song back then. Oh yeah, so it's probably on
you
YouTube
had like
somewhere.
all the 8-year-olds losing their shit.
Pretty much,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Pretty much. So yeah, we did that kind of stuff. But in between, obviously, there was other things like we had like hip hop classes and like stuff like that. Like we used to take dance lessons, you know, because we loved to dance. So that was like our favorite thing, other than singing, obviously.
Yeah.
And so we would do that in between, and our dancing got better. So we would add it to our show, like a whole dance thing. And then we met up with this other producer from California. I'm not gonna name names. And he was like, "I love you guys, but I hate the name. The name's gotta go." And my mom was
I think
really
that was
upset.
it was
a
a pretty
smart
wise
move.
choice.
It's a smart move.
I
My
didn't-
mom was pretty upset, obviously, 'cause she's the one who made the
Of
name.
course,
She
of
wants,
course.
you know. And so we were jumbling through names really quick. It was pretty quick, actually. The producer just kind of already had in his head. He was like, "Why don't we just go with 3 cards?" And you know, at the time, we were kind of like, I don't know, you know, whatever. But eventually, it stuck, and it became like us, you know,
cemented.
Like, people like who are like graduating, who don't even like remember us. They remember us as 3 cards.
card,
You
yeah.
know, everyone.
Oh yeah, bro. Through high school, what was
Yeah.
that single you guys had? It
Oh,
was,
Is It Too Late?
Is it too?
Yeah.
Was it? Is it too late?
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
can't
that's the
remember.
one
Where you
high-
guys like danced in it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a music video.
Yeah, if you guys haven't looked at it, it is a gem. You
Mm.
absolutely need to go and check it out. What was it?
That's
3
cool.
card.
Is It Too Late? 3 card.
3 card.
Yeah.
Is it too late?
Mhm.
It is such, and that's where, if I'm not mistaken, Gianni met Brooke.
Yeah.
Which, if you don't know who Gianni and Brooke is, you'll know eventually. I might even tag them like somewhere here. I don't. I'm. This is some new shit to me. Like I don't even know. I'm saying
like,
this
yeah, we'll
like
just
so I'll do it in
yeah.
post, but I don't know if I'll actually be good enough to do it. So if it's there, cool. If it's not,
Then-
just act like I didn't say it. And that's crazy because that was like
Mhm.
I can't. Oh, how many years ago was that?
That was my junior year. Our junior year.
Our junior year.
It was like towards the end.
Bro, I remember playing that at Vocal Jazz and everybody was losing their shit.
They were like, "Whoa, that's so cool!" You guys have
So
music
if you guys
videos and
also
stuff?"
don't know, Santino and I went to the same high school. It's a performing
Yes.
arts high school. I don't really want to name them because you know what? They're kind of fucking scummy, bro. And you know what?
A
In
little
my
bit.
opinion,
Just
in
a
my
little bit.
opinion, if I feel like they're the type of people. If we say the wrong shit about their performing arts school, they're gonna try to sue me or something like
Correct.
that. So
Yeah.
I don't want to be sued for libel or anything like that.
It's true.
We'll just call it the shittiest high school that's ever existed. In this shittiest high school that's ever existed, we performed and sang together, and we did a lot of shit, and we
Yeah.
toured a lot
Everywhere.
of places.
Everywhere.
I mean,
Spain,
Chicago. Shit, what is that? It?
Orlando.
Orlando. Oh my god,
Arizona.
that was so much fun. Arizona,
Mhm.
Flagstaff. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um,
To California a couple times.
Yeah, we went to California quite a bit.
Yeah. Those fun times. We're
We're
always roommates, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, just every trip. I think it was every single one.
Well, every
ex-
single year that we were in the
except
same
sophomore.
choir.
Except
Yeah,
sophomore.
because I was.
Wait. Yeah. No, sophomore year. Yeah.
We weren't in the same choir.
Right.
At that time, but
Yeah.
we where was it? Oh yeah, Vocal Jazz. You guys did that, or you didn't even perform it. You just like, hey guys, this is what we did.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's a
And
music
I was so surprised because I think at that time I didn't even know that you guys had like done a music video. I remember you told me you did a music video, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I just never
Yeah.
like conceptualized what you meant by that, and then you put it
Mhm.
up, and I was like, oh. You know what's funny? I love
Oh.
you so much,
video.
bro.
Oh, no.
I
Oh,
love
no.
Santino guys so much, and I
Oh,
talk a lot
no.
of shit to him a good amount of the time, but it's all from a loving place.
Oh, no.
I thought the video was so fucking awesome when I saw it the first time, and I think I've seen it like within the past year or so, and I'm like, this is not that great of a video.
It's a
Like the
lot.
production
It's a
quality was
lot.
like there was
Well-
like it was good, and then but I think it's dated.
But you know
because,
what's crazy
by
though?
the time.
The videographer at the time, he like pulled us aside and was like, "Yo, you guys, like this is like the best camera in all of
Oh,
the
yeah.
world. It's like the red
Yeah.
camera or something like that. I forgot
Yeah.
what it's called,
don't
but
know.
it's like
Best camera of 2014.
And it really was like
Yeah.
it's like the ones that the pros use, you know,
Uh-huh.
like all the artists and legends. That's what they use. And I was like, wow, that's cool, but I don't look like that. Like, I don't look like a suit. My hair was flat. I had
Yeah.
braces. I had my mustache going.
Oh
like,
yeah,
They only
dude.
gave us 10 minutes.
You guys have to. I don't know. We might put a clip of it. I don't know if
Maybe.
3 card might. I don't know. Try to like copyright strike me or anything like that. They're like, we want our money. But that'd be hilarious. You know what?
That'd be
I think I can put a picture, and that's not copyright. So I'm probably
Yeah.
gonna put a picture
I would do
somewhere
a picture, yeah.
of the edit.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, it should be fun.
it was a time.
Yeah.
It was a time.
I had like a whole like I don't even know. I had all this still here, and all this was cut. And then at one point, I even had like a little V
Oh yeah.
thing in the back of my head,
Oh yeah.
like my.
Bro, I love your hair the most as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Just like this curly fucking. I
Yeah.
wish I had that hair.
It's a lot.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's funny. I was wish I had that kind of hair.
What
it's
the
like
fuck?
short and straight, bro. Short and straight.
Bro, have you seen my hairline? There's nothing straight about it. This shit looks like a W. What
well,
the fuck are you talking
you gotta
about?
think in high school when you had the hair, you had like a nice like comb thingy, kind of like not comb over, but like
I
it's like,
guess.
it's styled nice, and I like that. I like
sure.
straight hair on me better. I like.
I look
curly,
like
but-
a Joker, like a Heath Ledger Joker.
No, that's like senior year. That was like the whole lion look you had.
Oh yeah, I had
That
some
was cool.
crazy curly mess
Yeah.
hair. I might even put a photo. Of
Yeah. So for those
somewhere.
who don't know, yeah, he had
I
hair
used to
all
have
the way down to his
long
shoulders.
locks
Mhm.
until my dad's genetics kicked in and I started to fucking lose it. It was like, yo, peace out. Oh shit. Oh shit. And they fucking hopped the fuck out of there. All right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they did fast. My dad told me when he was young, he was like, "Oh yeah, I started losing my hair at 18." And I was like, "What a cuck, bro. What a cuck. You lost your hair at 18." And I never understood it cuz I was like, "Bro,
Oh my god.
how do you bald so fast, right?"
Yeah, honestly.
And then
and now look.
fast forward. And this shit, dude. And I don't mean to dog too much on myself. I got hair. It's
Yeah.
just not nice. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. It's like when you're 14 and you get like facial hair. It's there,
Your
but you would
comparisons
really
are
wish
so
it was
funny.
better. You know, it could grow in or like be so much nicer, but it's not. It's not full and everything. Anyways, so yeah, he was like, "Oh, I lost it when I was 18." I'm like, "Dude, that fucking
You're
sucks."
like, oh man.
And then I turned 18 and I started to notice my long ass locks were thinning. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. So I was like, maybe I'm tripping,
Yeah, a
right?
little
Maybe
bit.
I'm freaking out. And I was like, I'm gonna cut it short. And I cut it like pretty
Mhm.
similar to well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have similar hair to you,
It was
but
pretty
like
short.
it was
yeah.
like short on the sides and I had some
Mhm.
stuff on the top.
right.
And it was still a mess. It started to get worse. And I was like, I had a freaking midlife crisis.
Literally.
Even though it wasn't midlife.
You're
My hair was
18.
more midlife than me. You know what I'm saying? It was really bad. And so I started to freak out. And I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, holy shit, I'm balding. And then you start to freak out. Because when you're young and you start to bald, you're
Yeah.
like, it messes with you
yeah.
as a young man. Because
It
you're like,
does.
this shit's not supposed to happen for another 20 years, dude. I am
Here
not
we are.
supposed to be looking like this. Okay? Like, luckily, when I shave my face, and
Mhm.
even kind of just the way I look now,
Mhm.
I'm lucky in the fact that I still look kind of young.
Yeah.
If I looked old, oh my God, bro. They'd be like, they wouldn't even ask me for my ID.
Correct.
They're like, you're,
They're like, yeah, he's old enough.
Yeah, he's old enough.
He's good.
what kid are you on? You know what I'm saying? That kind of shit.
Or
And I'm like, that's, not me. So it was
my God.
tough. And then I was just like, then my
That's
girl at the time, currently,
Mm-hmm.
was really good about it. She's like, I still love you. I don't really give a shit. And
Cool,
then
yeah.
that would hurt me. I was like, really? You don't really give a shit? So you kind of give a shit?
Just a little bit.
I mean, yeah. Like, what the fuck? How do you go with a guy
Yeah.
that had beautiful, long, curly
Like,
hair, and then it
yeah.
just starts to,
That's true.
raising up?
But it happens. You're not
It
the only one. You're
happens.
not the only one.
You know what? I do intend at some point in my life to try a hair transplant.
That'd be cool.
It's just really expensive.
Should
and
do
on
it
top
the-
of
we
that-
should do it on like a YouTube video.
Oh, hell, of
Like,
course.
Yo, not clickbait. I got a hair transplant. Look how sick, bro.
No, it's seriously, like, it's something that I'd heavily consider. But the thing is, like,
Mm.
for example, like, one of the most famous people that's ever done it is Jeffree Star. You know
Really?
Jeffree Star had a hair transplant?
I did not.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, because
What?
if you guys, if you have a chance, go look at Jeffree Star's channel. I think it's on his regular channel, or I don't even know if he has two different channels. Whatever, it's on his channel.
Mhm.
And he has it where he shows the process of his hair transplant, and he
That's
did
cool.
it like there's two different types of ways. I'm educating. If any of you young men are bald, or young women, we don't discriminate because it does happen to women at a young age.
It's true.
If any of you guys start balding, take a look at Jeffree Star's video because I totally got off track. There's two different types. All right. So the first type is they cut a good like chunk of meat from the back of your neck where their follicles are on your head, and then they pull the follicles out of that skin, and then they implant it into your head. That's the first way.
That's cool.
Or the other way, which is a newer way that they started doing, is and they actually have it on. I think it's the Try Guys. I think fuck. I hope I'm not saying this wrong. I really don't. I don't want to send them to the wrong place.
Right.
But I think it's the Try Guys. And one of the Try Guys did it the newer way. It's this robot that it goes behind the back of your head, and they numb the shit out of the back of your head, and it injects itself into the back of your head and pulls out your follicles. So instead of cutting out and leaving a scar on the back of your head, it grabs it by the follicle. And then they get a certain amount of follicles that are usable, and then they implant it that way.
Oh my god!
Yeah, right. It's crazy.
Scary.
That's the one I want to do. I'm that's the one I want to do.
I want to be because
I don't
Matrix.
I just don't want a scar. And even, for example, a lot of people don't know this. I know way too much useless facts. Joe Rogan did it too. Joe Rogan had a hair transplant, but you also notice he's bald right now, and it's because, as far as I understand, it didn't work for him.
Whoa.
Some of them are not successful. Some of these transplants are not successful. So the way that I see it is
that's stressful.
if I'm gonna do that and it might not be successful, I don't want a scar on the back of my head.
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
Wow, that's crazy.
But either way, I don't know. I'm kind of embracing it. I'm just fuck it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Exactly. And you know what? I'm kind of blessed to have the face that I do.
Yeah.
And look the way that I look, because fortunately enough, I'm not the worst looking dude in the world.
Correct.
And if I don't have any hair, it is what it is.
Well, yeah.
It is what it is. And you know what? I'll just be ahead. I'll be ahead of all these, and truly, I'll be ahead of all these 40-year-olds that are losing their shit, and they're like, "Oh my god,
that's
man!"
True. Like, "Oh my god,"
and they go through their midlife crisis, and I'm like, 20 years under my belt, bro. I already got this shit, man. I already know what it's like, bro.
I have experience.
I have experience in the bald ways.
In the balding department.
Yeah, in the balding department, man. We're stocked up in facts on those, all right? You want to know how to shave it? I'll show you, dude. I'll teach you how to embrace your 40s like a champ.
Dude.
Because I've been embracing my 40s at 20.
Should we do a 40s challenge? We go and shave our head,
You know what?
Facial hair.
Honestly, bro, don't do it. Don't do it. Do it when you have to, bro. You got such a beautiful freaking head of hair, dude. It'd just be a shame, man. Look at that curly shit, dude.
But the thing is, it grows back so fast. It doesn't take long.
You're only complaining about positives right now?
It doesn't, no, I'm saying, if I were to shave it completely, it would grow back, in 2 months. That. Yeah, it won't be that long.
Yeah, it's God's gift to you. You're absolutely right. I don't see any
just saying,
problems here.
If I were to do the whole thing, to buzz it, because I was thinking about it, I might do it. I don't know. I might.
You know what? I feel like it helps you in certain ways. But I'm just bro, if you got it, you got it, bro. Go with it, dude.
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's like women that got really big breasts, and they're like, you know what? In today's, I just need a breast reduction, and I'm like, Tiffany, you're 20. You're 20. You're beautiful.
Yeah, correct.
And she's like, I just don't know. I want to be a little different, and I'm like,
Be
you
yourself.
don't have to get.
That's true.
Need to do that.
That's fair. You're right. You're right.
Keep it simple, bro. You have hair. I swear to you, bro. When you start to lose it, you're gonna be like, why the fuck did I shave this?
Correct.
You're gonna look back at photos and be like,
no,
I didn't need to do this. This was completely stupid.
Oh no. She wasn't ready.
Yeah. But you know what?
I
might just be pulling these facts out of my ass. But there's this. I think. I don't. You know what? I almost don't want to say it because I feel like I don't.
We should have a bullshit counter in the corner.
Put one right there. Just tell all the bullshit.
Just
all the shit Jean-Luc makes up. Doesn't really fucking know. Yeah.
But it sounds legit, It sounds like you know what you're talking
about.
No, most of the time it's true, About 95% of the time.
We'll go with 70.
I'm trying to help you out, man.
I'm just being real with myself. I'm not trying to fake out at anybody.
That's true.
What was I saying? Oh, there's this. Well, of course, it might just be confirmation bias, but there's this article I saw many years ago when I started a bald, where they said that women like men that are trimmed, pretty bald. They like men that have that look more sleek, I guess.
They typically like.
But when I saw that and I saw all the guys that were in there, I was like, every single one of these dudes look like a penis. I was like, If I'm a girl, none of this is attractive. Not a single thing. I'm like, get out of here.
Oh my god.
I mean, is that not accurate? Bro, if I put like a pink mark on the top of my head, and I just like that, you know, like that, hey, you never know, bro. It's not flattering.
Oh my god.
For sure. It's even worse when like if you hang me upside down, I get this fat vein in the middle of my head, and I just look like an erect penis, dude. It's terrible. But you know what? That shows women how masculine you are. Not only do you have a penis, you look like one. Like a very, very strong one. One that could support a family.
I'm so
glad
glad
pay
you
for a
called
house.
this. I'm glad you called this the Jungle Podcast. Honestly, I mean, we went from like my boy band-ish career to
talking
hair
about a penis
transplants to how bald men look like fucking
God damn
dicks.
it. What do you want from me? That's why we started this podcast.
It's true.
'Cause
Let's talk about
this-
weird shit.
It had to be captured, bro.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's
true.
backtrack.
all the women.
Yeah.
To the
Let's get back to
beginning.
the point of the history of Santino Cardinale.
Oh man, that's so funny. I can't get the image out of my head now. Of like, you know, the vein, and like just never mind.
God damn
All right,
dude.
um,
If you get me laughing hard enough, it's gonna, it's gonna come out.
It's gonna be full erect.
Oh God damn it! You know
okay,
what's so funny? This is hilarious because it's so sad. That's why it's funny, because it's the saddest shit. Okay.
I'm just gonna move on. So.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on from my penis head.
Okay, so we three cards. Yes. So we had a few songs with that producer. Spoiler: we didn't get any of the songs that we did with them, so that kind of sucks.
Uh-huh.
And they were good songs too. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
There was one that was like radio ready. I'm not gonna say the name either because you'll probably figure out where it is.
Yeah.
But
was it?
it's called Flatline. I'm just gonna
No.
say
No.
It's
what was,
different. That's
what
a
was the other one that was really
I'm
good?
getting there. That's later.
Okay,
Getting
we'll
there.
get
That's
there.
later. This
Uh-huh.
is like 3 cards. This is like
Yes.
8th grade freshman year mix.
Yeah.
That little mix. So then after we came back from California, there was a big falling out with him and all this other stuff, whatever. Then like not even maybe a year and a half later, we met a manager, and he's the one who got us in front of like more of the bigger producers that we've worked with, and a lot of the songs that we had there were really good too. I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty good, and they could have been on the radio at the time, you know, because pop and like that EDM vibe was like the thing, you know, back then. But long story short, he ended up, you know, scamming everybody we worked with by like not paying them everything that they're supposed to be paid, like studio time and the rights and the wave files. He didn't pay for nothing. He only paid for like maybe a portion, like the food and the Uber rides.
So, side note: do you think that that's like rampant in like the LA music scene? Do you think that happens more often than not?
Oh yeah.
That like you
Oh yeah.
have these really like
Definitely.
shitty producers that scam people.
Connections with people, most of the time it's not, you know, very liable connections.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because in one way or another, they probably did a favor, and the other person did them a favor,
Yeah.
so on and so forth. Somebody probably got screwed at some point, and then that's just what the connection became. You know, just backstabbing one another, essentially. So with that, we also changed the name again to 3 Card, because that's what the manager at the time wanted. He wanted us to
So
take...
what did just an S? They just took an S off the name?
They took the S and they took the E, so it was just THR3 CARD. That was the name, yeah. And we had this cool logo, like the 3 and the C were like all futuristic and stuff.
Yeah.
It looked pretty cool. But, you know, it's just a lot happened in between there that we don't know still to this day. But from what, you know, the people we worked with, because we got close to the people we worked with and not our manager, ironically. We got close to the connections. And they kind of told us after the whole, you know, contract thing was up, they were like, yeah, that dude was bad news. You guys are dealing with the devil, basically. I was like,
No shit.
that's crazy. That's crazy. Because, you know, he got us, you know, a lot of the high schools we went to in California.
You guys don't have like an NDA, right? Like a non-disclosure agreement? It's like, so you can't talk about this stuff? Because I remember once upon a time you couldn't.
Well, certain people we can't discuss, but some, I mean, you know, it's part of my life.
Talk
so,
about
you
your
know,
experience.
Yeah, exactly. It's part of what I went through, and, you know, things like that. And there's things that I do know. There's things I don't know, even still to this day with all of the producers we've worked with and all the managers or whatever, you know. And so basically with this guy, he was pretty well off. You know, he had a lot of money and stuff, and you know, he invited us to stay at his place while we worked on music and things, and it was cool, you know, it was fun. But like I said, I mean, he just played too many people, you know, he was a hustler, you know, that's what he was. And I mean, you know, I'm talking everybody we worked with, man, he just gave him little crumbs and then just left, you know, left a bad taste in people's mouth. And ironically, one of those producers that he, you know, gave crumbs to became our like manager essentially. He became a producer for us because at first he didn't like us at all. He thought we were just a bunch of Justin Bieber wannabes, you know, or whatever the case. But you know,
well, with Dante's haircut, let me like
a little bit.
With Dante's haircut,
we're getting him to pull it back.
I saw
cool.
when I saw him when he came back from college, I was like,
yeah,
wow,
it looks cool.
You cut your hair. It's about time.
That's
and then he's probably like, yeah, what's your bald ass? Yeah, of course you're cutting hair.
So basically, after all that happened, we were working with the producer, and he actually kind of liked this. You know, it turns out, you know, he talked a lot of shit, you know, in the moment, but you know, to his other buddies, he was like, "You got to check out these kids, man. You got to check them out. Like they can sing and they can write too. Like they're really good." And so, like in that session in particular, we had maybe about 3 or 4 other people, just people we didn't know, come in and watch, and then they just kind of left. Just to see, like, you know, what they were dealing with, and, like, it was pretty good. And then, basically, we ended up cutting it off with the manager at the time. I think we took, like, a small hiatus from California life. We kind of just went back to Vegas, finished school, and just do more performances and things out here. And then, towards, like, my senior year, you know, we did boy band, and...
Is that even a show still?
What?
Boy band.
Yeah. No, well, it was a season. It ran for a season.
Ah.
Yeah. I think
so. Are they going to have a second season? Do you know about that?
I don't think so.
You're tight with the guys that won it, right? Or you know them?
Yeah, well, they just broke up, actually, as of, like, a couple weeks, last week or a couple weeks. Yeah. It's crazy stuff. Wow. They're all
what was that man's name?
Oh, In Real Life. Oh, the producer?
No, the one that won the show. What was their name?
Oh, there was 5 of them. Yeah. The band was In Real Life.
In Real Life. You said that's the one that just...
Yeah, that's the one that just split.
Bro, I don't know anything. I watched the show for you guys.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, I don't know.
Do you remember that viewing party, though, at my house when we had, like, 50 people? Like,
oh, yeah, in your living room?
Like
and you had already...
singers, basically.
I thought it was so funny because you had already told me what happened.
Yeah.
So we're all watching this stuff, and I'm like, I'm waiting for them. I'm like, when are they gonna tell, like, say that these boys...
They showed us, like, 2 seconds. Bro.
I know. You guys had, like no coverage on that episode. But I gotta tell you,
man, just from those 2 seconds, I mean, I gained, like, 100 followers like that.
I bet.
You know, it was wild just for 2 seconds. Imagine if I was on for 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like stuff like that. I always like think about stuff like that, like just like what if, you know? I'm big with what ifs, huh?
Now you're here.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit. Yeah,
but even
right.
still, man. I mean, I feel like I'm doing so much better now, though.
Bro, you know what? You know what I think it is? Like definitely that I've seen from all 3 of you, since then and now, is you're all much happier people. Like you're genuinely happier. Yeah. And I remember. Funny story, Santino almost didn't make it to our graduation because of the show.
Because of boy band.
Because of the show, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember when you guys tried to surprise me that you were back, which is
well, it didn't work out because
it didn't work because I saw you.
Well, that not only that, but our friend Leilani and then my ex-girlfriend like made this whole plan to get breakfast and stuff, and you were like, that's a little odd. Like, why are we getting breakfast on graduation day?
Smelled weird. I was like,
you're like, what?
I've never had. I don't even eat breakfast, and then you guys want me to come here and have breakfast with you two, and I'm like, and it was even weirder because I was like, we're with our old friend, not a friend anymore, but we had a friend Leilani that was there, and then we had your girlfriend at the time, and I was like, why am I going to breakfast with Santino's girlfriend and my friend? It just felt weird.
Yeah,
I was like,
really
this doesn't.
odd.
But then I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, something's up.
This makes perfect sense that this fool would pop out of nowhere. And I start looking around like, where is he?
I scare him all the time in high school. I always try to startle him in high school.
He's fucking still doing
all the time, yeah.
That's why I lost my hair, bro. You stress me out. God damn it.
Oh my god, my laugh sounds terrible. It's like but anyway, no. Okay. So like,
I don't gotta.
So I walk up and Baby Stacks where we went. By the way, those who don't know, pancakes. Those pancakes were good.
Pretty bomb.
Yeah, they're pretty good. So I pull up obviously, and like, my girlfriend already knew she was like I was coming and stuff like that. And
she's
then
really bad at hiding shit.
yeah, she like was kept looking and stuff
yeah,
for me.
even till the end, very bad at hiding shit.
yeah, yeah.
We'll save that for another
Yeah,
podcast.
And yeah, then Jean-Luc was like, "You bitch, you bitch," and like all this other stuff. And then I pulled up to the graduation, and like everybody was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're here!" Blah blah blah. All this stuff. I was like,
but I remember
Wow.
you were stressed out.
yeah,
You were stressed out about the entire show and stressed out about
yeah.
how everything was going.
Mhm.
Also, to
Yeah.
the viewers, I know I probably have something red under my nose. It's the sick time season, okay?
Correct,
And I've been
yeah.
rubbing the shit out of my nose
It's okay.
lately.
I've been rubbing the shit on my eye,
Yeah.
like right here. I have a little bit of like.
Santino, are you smoking? Santino, you're like, no, ma. I swear to. Are you sure?
No, ma.
Are you sure?
I like that. No, ma.
I know you. I don't know what you do in your spare time,
Oh my-
Santino.
Oh my god. Is that supposed to be my mom?
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't do a New Jersey accent. What do you want from me?
Oh my gosh. So yeah, the show. I mean, I can explain a little bit about the show.
Yeah.
Basically, it was a competition show. And there were 30 guys, or 50 guys at first, actually. But we had to audition for the TV portion. And only 30 can make it. So we met up with a bunch of dudes, and it was actually kind of crazy because some broke off and like started doing their own solo thing, and then kind of popped off a little bit. Some like stayed for the whole thing, and all this and that. And so Gianni and I made it to the top 30 round where we have to sing in front of the judges and all this other stuff, right? So in that time, we're all trying to meet each other and get to know each other and all this and that.
That's
or
where
whatever.
You met Jay and like.
I met Jay Hype, who's a friend of mine. I met quite a few people. I met the Fourth Ave crew, like K-Mars, Jaden, Cam, Mikey.
It's Jaden.
Jaden, he's the gospel singer.
Yeah.
He's
Oh
fantastic.
my god,
yeah.
dude! I saw you follow him on
Mhm.
Instagram, and
Mhm.
I clicked on his profile, and I heard him, and then he did something with like Avery Wilson, and
Mhm.
Avery Wilson's my boy,
Mhm.
bro. I
Yeah.
listened to him, and
He
I'm
did
like,
he did something with Amber Riley too from Glee. And
oh yes, I saw that
and
recently,
they did like a whole
and
thing.
I was just
and
like, this kid,
he's talented.
quite frankly, was on a whole other level than pretty much everybody on
them.
that show.
All of them.
He was
Yeah.
probably the best person on that show. It was insane, and I was
so
like,
talented.
what is this kid? What is he doing? What is he
Yeah.
doing on this show, man?
Yeah. Shouts out Jaden Gray, by the way.
Yeah.
Love you, dude. So
Dude's-
good.
Dude's. Well, actually, does he have any music? Like, does he have any
With his old boy band. You know what's funny too with that? After the show ended,
Yeah.
the one of the judges, Timbaland, he I guess from what I know, he formed the group Fourth Avenue,
Yeah.
which consists of Cam, K-Mars, Mikey, and Jaden.
Mhm.
And they were a boy band for about maybe a year or so. I
Yeah.
forgot how long it was.
Yeah.
But they ended up breaking up too. And they all became solo artists and things. And yeah, it's a lot. So anyway, back to like the 30 stuff. We, tried to get to know each other and things, but I was so caught up with my relationship that I didn't really form the bonds with the boys. And because I wanted to spend time with my girlfriend, I wanted to FaceTime her and let her know I'm cool and there's no girls here. Like, you're fine. It's all dudes, So it was fine. And I had my room to myself. I had a whole bunch of stuff. Like, I'm getting like choked up. But so I had the whole room to myself. So I would just call her whenever, and it was most of the time when we had some free time. I even like showed her like some of the studio, which I wasn't supposed to, but I did anyway. And I did like a whole vlog thing and stuff. And it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
And so I kind of regret doing that because I didn't get to make the connection I wanted to with the other guys. But it kind of worked out anyway because I'm still friends with all of them.
Yeah.
So, it kind of worked out anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
So after we did the whole audition thing, we were doing like the whole performance coach thing. Like, we had a performance coach and they would tell us like how to perform to the camera because most of us haven't done TV. Only a few of us have, and they've had experience, but I never had experience with TV. Like TV, or I sing in front of a TV like camera and stuff. And there's obviously judges, like from the past, like Nick Carter, and so it's a lot. It's heavy, it's heavy stuff. And I remember how nervous, man.
Bro, I remember watching you while you perform, and I saw you perform, and then I saw all the other people perform, and I was like, you did so much better. I mean, quite frankly, you did. You were nervous, and you said they gave you your songs, right? What song you had to sing?
So basically I had a song ready to go, I forgot what it was. It was a song. It was a good song, and like it was comfortable for me. But they said that it won't fly with ABC and all this other junk. So they gave me Valerie by Amy Winehouse, and I was like, okay, that's a good song. I can learn that shit. That's cool. And then when I got to California, they changed it again.
That's right. Yeah.
To A Million Reasons by Lady Gaga, which I love the song, but as a solo arrangement, it's hard.
And
it's hard to
as
do.
Like a debut, like a debut type song, I
Right.
thought they really screwed you over with such a slow song. And they had like all these other, young guys singing like all those heartthrob, songs that the girls are like, oh, whatever.
Exactly.
And they gave you A Million Reasons, and I was just like, I don't know. For me,
Yeah.
it felt a little.
It didn't feel right. It's what it didn't feel.
Well, not only did not feel right, it felt almost like intentional. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would they give you such a bad song? Because that's not something that you go out and perform with. I've never heard anybody that goes out there without a piano and sings A Million Reasons. I've never heard that stuff. So I thought that I was like, if this is not artificial, like, and maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just like sticking out for my boy here, and I'm like, y'all doing some fishy shit. But it really didn't make sense to me that they gave you that. And also, like, Gianni had a good song, didn't he?
Yeah, Thinking Out Loud.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good song. But also, in comparison to all the others, still a slowish song.
Yeah.
It's not something that you're supposed to go out there and be like, hey, this is me, pay attention to me, I deserve to be here.
Right.
Nothing about those songs gave that kind of impression.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's TV, man. That's all I got to say.
Hey.
It's TV. I mean, they make it however they want. They could do whatever they want.
That's true.
It's TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, we did the show and everything was live. Like, everything was like right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the illuminations, all that was like right there. Like, it took us maybe 7 or 8 hours. We were there for a long
you guys
time.
filmed that entire
We were
time.
there for a long time because we did promo for the show.
Yeah.
As well as the auditions, as well as like background stuff, just like kind of watching and applauding and laughing and stuff like that. We did some of like the meet and greet with the judges and things. Like, we did a whole thing. And so after all of that, we had to do interviews, because they would do like, how you feel, like, pretend like nothing happened, right? How do you feel right now? And I'll be like, I don't know. Like, that's kind of a weird thing to say because it already happened.
Something better.
Yeah,
go.
It already happened. I already knew what was gonna happen before, but they were like, act like you don't know. And
that is such an odd thing.
I was like,
I'm just super excited to go.
Yeah, at this point,
like,
but
what?
at this point, I was already eliminated.
Kind of like,
yeah,
get the fuck out of my face.
No, this is a lot. I was already eliminated from the show.
Yeah,
so for them to be like,
such an odd sequence of how to record something.
Because
you would think,
You know what's funny too about that? Like, we got there, we kind of chilled for a while. We put makeup on, we did all this stuff first, and then after everything, after the auditions and the knockouts and the voting or whatever, that's when they did the asking, like the interviews before the pre stuff and the pro stuff. And I was like, that's kind of odd, but okay. I mean, I'll roll with it. It's TV,
Yeah.
So like after everything, they're like, yeah, how do you feel about your performance? I was like, I could have done better, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think, my song choice could have been a lot cleaner and whatever, right? And they were like, okay, so now pretend none of this happened. So you ready for your audition? And I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, it's so good. I didn't know what to say because I was like, why?
This is like the struggle with me. And like, this is just with everything. The lack of authenticity is, and you know what? It's not even in TV. Like, TV is the precursor to it all. But like, when you look at all of the social medias that we have, even TikTok, like even all of this stuff, like the lack of authenticity is astounding. It's so much more prevalent than I think it's ever been.
Yeah.
But of course, like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm 21 years old. What do I really know about that stuff? I don't know. Yeah. But when I see this stuff, I get. This is why, like, oh, Jean-Luc, how come you never did anything with social media? How come it took you 3.5 years to make something with YouTube? And the truth is that I never wanted to not be authentically myself, and it was really hard because when you're 18 years old, when I had this vision of like doing all this stuff, I wasn't me.
Yeah, you're still trying to figure out your life. Yeah,
I didn't really know who I was at the time. I had this idea of who I was,
right? But
I didn't really know, and I could even argue I still don't know. This might just be the version of me that I think I am. And that's why it's kind of like, things are always changing.
Right.
But regardless of that, like you're saying with that show,
it's a lot,
bro.
Man.
I would just be like, oh, am I gonna pay for this? All right, let me talk to the camera real quick. What? Y'all just, you guys just did what to me? You gonna tell me that I'm no longer going on, and then you want to act like this is a scam? I'm not.
It is.
Yeah.
Because you know what's
And
crazy
that's why
too.
I am not on a show like
I said
that.
I don't even know if I'm supposed to be saying stuff like this, but
Yeah.
Gianni, after we got eliminated and stuff, he came up to me and was like, "Yo, the vocal director said like they wanted you really bad, like they wanted you to be in the boy band, not in the top, not go past. He wanted him in the band."
Yeah.
And Johnny was like, I mean, that's crazy. Then why would they get rid of me? You know,
Bro, your music making capabilities and like everything is on a different level. It really is. All those people on there that went on, I was like, oh my god. They were like, "Hi, my name's Jason, and I'm here today just to, you know, tell you about my life,
spread positivity,
and
you know,
yeah,
make it something bigger
good
than myself,
vibes.
bigger than myself. I
yeah,
just want to be bigger
dude."
than myself.
And I
bigger
was
than
like,
myself.
the entire time, I was like, these are all personalities, and I see like almost no musicians up here, not a single one.
You know, it is what it is, man. It's just like, you know, people got to put up a persona, you know, and that's how they got to be. That's how they got to live, man. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I'm like one of the only ones, or maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not. I just don't like that shit, man. I really
I told myself,
dislike it so much.
I said from now on, I'm never doing TV again unless I'm getting paid, like paid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I can't be phony and have a script, and I'm not like that, you know. Like
No.
I'd rather just
like I
say
get it if
what I
you're like on
gotta
a
say.
sitcom or something like that. Like,
yeah, like Saturday Night Live or something. I mean, yeah, but like, come on. Like even still, I wouldn't want to be tied down so much. I would probably want to improv or something, you know, just for fun.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel like I can come up with funny shit
and
on
like
the spot.
I know throughout
Yeah.
like that TV series they had it to where like they would show the progress of them as musicians and like making
Yeah.
songs together and everything
Oh
like
yeah,
that. And
that's Big T as well.
Yeah, and I saw. Okay, well, go ahead. Go tell me.
Okay,
What you're gonna say.
so
Mhm.
because you know this was in high school, this was senior
Yeah.
year, right? And so prom was around this time, right? Well, filming and stuff.
Wait, which
Yeah.
part? You said senior year?
Our senior year,
'Kay,
yeah, our
okay,
senior
cool.
prom. So,
Yeah.
you know, Gianni was like, or we were on the phone with one of the like producers. He's not really a producer, but he's a producer.
Yeah.
And he said,
Do me a favor. Just back up just a little
am I in
bit.
the way?
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
You're good.
I like being
Ah,
in the way.
goddamn.
Okay, so basically we were talking to him and he was like, "You guys anything exciting coming up? You guys anything going?" And Johnny was like, "Well, we have our school prom." I was like, "Bro, why did you tell him that, man?"
How old is he? He's 17 at this time or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like something
And,
17-year-old Gianni would say.
Yeah, and so they basically were like, "Okay, cool. We'll come out there and we will film your prom. We'll film you guys
Did they?
for prom." Here's what happens,
Okay,
right?
go ahead.
So they come out here and all this stuff, like to our house, like to the place with limos, all this other crazy stuff. And they were like making a whole day out of it. So the morning we went to the gym. That's why I lost my Hydro Flask. That's when I got stolen. My very first one, the mango one.
What, after like the third or fourth one?
No, this is the first one. This is the very
Oh my
first one.
God.
By the way, I lost 4 or 5 Hydro Flasks. So, I mean,
Yeah, Mans
Yeah.
loses everything.
case in point.
Also, doesn't really give a shit about his Apple Watch. Okay?
Wait, that's
Very
that's,
funny
that's
story.
That's another story.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, so we go to the gym and all this stuff, and like, cause Johnny said we worked out too, apparently. And I was like, dude, we are not.
Gianni said
look
that?
at me. I'm not fit.
Yeah.
You know, and the boys on
Well,
the show are
what's
way
even
more
funnier
fit.
is that Gianni said that.
Yeah, he's skinny too, man. He's
Yeah.
skinny as hell.
Yeah.
And so he got us doing like
I
these,
love
like,
you, Gianni.
he got us doing these things, like these, like, I don't know, like weightlifting stuff and like all
That
this
is
stuff. They want us
hilarious,
to make. They
dude.
wanted to make us look like we go to the gym.
Pump up the jam.
Yeah,
Pump it
and
up.
as we're about to leave, right,
Yeah.
I like put my Hydro Flask down for a second. I turn around to put my weight back. I turn around again. It's gone. Just
Mm.
disappeared. Swiped. Gone. Out of existence.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, damn, because it was cool looking. You know, it was a cool Hydro Flask.
Yeah.
It looked sick.
That's one we took to Spain, right?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
mango one. I missed that one.
So you're saying that there's tea because of prom.
Yeah, so then after that, they're like, okay, we'll come back when you guys are all dressed and whatever, right? So my date already had plans. We both agreed on the plans already. We both
Yeah.
knew the plans and everything.
And your day was beautiful, dude. I was very,
Sad
very
times.
proud of you
Sad times.
because you guys might not know this. Santino is an extreme gentleman and sometimes has not the best time talking to women.
Correct.
And the fact that I saw this girl, I was like, oh, wow,
yeah,
I could see this working.
She's beautiful.
You know what I'm
man.
saying? I was
She
like, oh, she's beautiful. And
Yeah.
like, you know,
I know.
you guys were like, eyeing each other and being all cute and shit.
It's
and
like,
I was like,
it's
damn.
like that girl from across the room kind of thing.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah,
Because we didn't
yeah.
really know each other. We wanted to go to
You
prom
wanted
to
like,
know each other.
wanted
You know what I
each
mean?
other.
And so basically after like I got ready and stuff, I was in my suit. Brooke, I think, was it Brooke? I don't remember. I think it was Brooke.
Gianni's Brook?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think she went to our prom, and this other girl, Dante's date, were there, and I was by myself, right? So it was really awkward already. Like they have their dates and I don't, and they're about to film us, getting ready and stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, they come up to
When
Gianni.
was- oh, go ahead.
This is
I'm
prom.
literally interrupting
This
you.
is prom. No, it's
yeah,
fine.
go ahead.
So he comes up to Gianni's room, and like we're all in there, and and they're like, okay, you guys ready to, go to prom?
This is at your
and stuff?"
house?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They're like rolling the entire time. They're rolling.
Wow.
The cameras are rolling.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, so how do you guys feel? You guys ready to go to prom and stuff? And I'm like, yeah. And Mom comes in with like, it's all like
Fabricated.
Set up. Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
set up. And she like gives a kiss to Dante. I was like, have a fun time. And, just being, I don't want to say phony, but she was acting,
Yeah.
And yeah, so then they had us wait by the stairs, and then we came down the stairs in like slow-mo, technically, in our suits or whatever. And then we had this limo, I guess they rented or whatever, for us to go to prom. But the thing is, my date was already like at where she was supposed to be at. And in fact, you guys, I think I was supposed to meet up with you guys at some point.
Yeah.
But you guys already had your plan too.
Yeah.
And we haven't even left my house yet.
Mhm.
This is like getting close to prom time, and we haven't even left my house.
I remember y'all were late. I
Yeah,
remember that for
and-
sure.
Well, I'll get there. I'll get there in a second. So then after we got in the limo, we drove to the Stratosphere for dinner, and you guys were already at the dance. Like the time we got our food, the dance has already started. So like my date
Wow.
was already there with her friends and all this stuff, and I was like, damn. I kept texting her. I'm like, yo, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. Like, this is terrible. I'm so sorry. I felt bad because I'm like, she really wanted to go, man. Like, with
Yeah.
a date, It's her
Yeah.
senior prom,
And I'm pretty sure she liked you too. Like
Mhm.
not like for sure,
like a
sure,
little
but
bit.
she was feeling
Just,
you.
like a little bit, yeah.
And then this asshole that's on this freaking TV show
I
that's
know.
getting all big
I know.
decides to be like, I'm sorry,
But
I'm
here's-
filming.
no,
I
but
just
here's the-
can't
here's-
right now.
I'm not even there yet. Just
okay,
wait.
Okay, go ahead.
So we have dinner, and they're taking forever. The food, the wait, Gianni and Brooke, they were taking forever. Like,
What's
it
new?
was a lot, huh?
I said, what's new?
Oh, no, dude, it was
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, they were just, because they wanted to enjoy themselves. They
I
wanted
bet,
to take
yeah.
time and all this stuff.
But you're
And I'm
sitting
like,
there like,
I'm
I got
sitting
a
there looking
date.
at the watch,
I
my
got a
clock, my
date.
phone.
Cinderella
I'm
with
sitting
my
there-
freaking glass
Yeah, man,
slipper,
I'm
just
sitting over
running.
here like, man, I gotta go. I got somewhere to be, And then I'm like, as soon as the waiter come around, like the third or fourth time, I'm like, yo, can I get the check? Because I'm like, I gotta go. Like, I gotta be out of here.
Yeah.
But the problem is I had to wait for everybody. And so I waited maybe about another 30 minutes, about an hour or whatever.
Mm.
And then we started heading to the dance. Now, I forgot where it was. It was somewhere, some thing on downtown, I forgot
Yeah.
where it was. And it was probably 10:30. Dance is over at 11. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we pull up. We're all just walking in, acting like everything's fine, I see my date, and she's pissed. She's pissed.
Yeah, I remember
she like
that.
has this disdained look. Like, I've never seen someone give me such a look,
Oh yeah.
And oh my god, it was so awkward because everyone's like, oh my god, hey, whatever, yeah. And then she's just like, hi. And that was it, man. That's all
I remember you
got
came
from
over to
her.
me and you were like, oh my
Bro,
God,
what
bro.
a night.
Yeah.
And you want to know the worst part about it? None of it was used. None of the
Yeah,
film.
that's what I was gonna say. I was like, you're telling me all this stuff, and I'm like, I've never seen any of this.
None of it was used. None of it. None of the prom,
But that's
none
so
of the
odd.
gym,
Was
none
this
of the
before
show.
or after they had already? This was before, right?
This was way before. This was
yeah.
April. We started filming in like June.
So
oh,
this
no,
was like
we started in May.
this was like a get to know you
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, pretty
That's so
much. That's what
odd,
they
dude.
wanted to use it for. And then they wanted a part 2 where they call us and like, you guys made it in the boy band. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but we didn't end up
God damn
doing
it.
that because we all kind of knew anyway.
And you're also like,
Um,
that's stupid.
Yeah, exactly. They already
we're
told
all
us.
we're
and
all
we're
boys. We're not 13-year-old
I
girls
know. It's
that freak
weird.
out about tickets or anything like that. You know?
Man, but I was just so upset. I felt so terrible because I'm like, yo, I really wanted to have a senior prom. I wanted to be there with my friends and like have a good time.
Hey, at least we had a great prom junior year.
That's true.
Guys, you don't know this, but
That's true.
Santino and I did not have dates our junior year prom, so we went together.
Yeah, we were each other's date.
Yeah,
It was
and
probably
we were
the better.
probably the best looking
It was
couple.
probably
there.
the better prom
Yeah,
that I've been
it was.
to.
It was. We went to the
Yeah.
Mob Museum.
Mhm.
It
Got
was
to
like
sing.
1940s themed. It was
Yeah,
pretty sick, and
it
there
was
was like
fun.
a lounge,
It was cool.
and they had like a little speakeasy where we were, where we wish we were drinking, but we didn't. You know,
Not at that time. Yeah, it was a lot, man. It sucked, you know, 'cause like I just really wanted to have a senior prom, you know,
I
but I never
bet.
did. And yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
boy band.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember senior prom was like
Mhm.
probably one of the worst times I had.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
I love my girlfriend to death, but she was the most miserable thing
Mhm.
taking photos
At that
day.
time, yeah.
Yeah, and
It
it
was a
was like
lot.
I remember her shoes hurt her and her
Mhm.
dress was uncomfortable and we were
It was a
like
lot.
and
yeah.
we were out in the sun in that time and she was like,
Yep.
I do not want to do
with
this
pictures
shit.
too, yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck.
and it's so funny. If we go back to the photos, like her face is just like deadpan
yeah.
the entire time. I got some good photos though. I was feeling good.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you were having fun, you know, you were with your friends and stuff. It was
Yeah.
good. you
Yeah,
know.
and then, but it's funny because like we don't even spend time with
I know.
pretty much all of the people
Any of
back
them
then.
anymore, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? Why is that?
I
Why
don't
is
know.
that like in high school? Everybody they just lose the friends.
What I
know?
think happened was we all just like were so focused on, you know, just ourselves, like
Yeah.
being
Keep
somewhere,
talking.
you know, in the like I don't even know. I guess like the ranks, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it. But like we all just wanted to be something, you know what I mean? We all wanted to be like have friends and like look cool or whatever. You know, but then once all that stuff goes away, I mean, it's like what do you have at that point, you know? I don't know. It's just like it's weird. It's a weird thing because like we have friends, you know, from our high school that we never even talked to in high school. There are friends now who went to the same high school but we never even talked to, you know? It's like I don't like how do you explain that, you know?
Yeah.
How do you go from like not speaking in high school or being like, "Hey, so and so, hey, so and so," to
Yeah.
being like a best friend at the end of it. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
It
That's
is
weird. And then like your best friends in high school, you don't even like they're strangers now to you.
I think we're an exception.
Well, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I think we're like a really heavy exception.
No, I know, but I mean, it's because we're we're close. We've been close for so long,
Yeah.
so it just was natural
It's because it's
for
like
us
it's almost
to
like family. I
like
mean, like
life.
realistically,
yeah,
I mean,
it's like life
I've known you and your brothers
forever. Yeah,
for like half of our lifetime.
literally. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I don't get it either. I still sometimes I think about that too. Like, how did I become with like friends with these people, and like, how did I lose this friendship with this person? Because
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I mean, they never said anything to me. They never did anything to me, and I never did anything to them. You know, so like, where did the drift come from? You know, and I think a lot of it too.
I feel like I
has to-
know which friendship you're talking
Well,
about.
just any
here.
of them. No, like
Yeah?
just any in general. Yeah, like
Uh-huh.
all the friends I had in high school. You know, because I knew a lot of people in high school. You
But
know,
you know what? Like talking about all of this, what seemed at that time to be success, you know,
Mhm.
with like how you were growing into this star, you
Mhm.
know, at the time. I think
Mhm.
a lot of people wanted that, or they wanted to like be friends with you and so on and so forth.
yeah. 'Cause they
And
wanted
even
the
back
clout.
then, I told you guys like I don't give a shit. I could care less if you guys
Right.
do this stuff.
Exactly.
And when you were like, bro, I got to go do this and that, I was like, do you, man? Go and do it because I really want to see you succeed. I
Yeah.
still want to see you succeed.
right.
I want to see like all of my friends. And I think that's a problem. Like, I don't
Mhm.
think that's how a lot of kids or anybody's raised to think. Like, you shouldn't look at people and be like,
Well,
and super envious. You
I
want
think
to watch
it's
them
like
grow.
I think it's more in the Vegas culture. I think it's just so competitive out here.
That's another factor
It's like
for sure.
it's like in high school, you know, you always want to be with like the best looking person, like have the best grades, and because that's what kind of what's taught out here. You know, you got to be the best. You know,
Yeah.
and
Nicest
well,
car,
no matter
most
what
money.
no matter what it takes.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially in our adult culture. Yeah, like you need to have the best car, the fastest car.
If you're
the
not
best
pulling up to
looking
the
car.
club in a nice car, man, you ain't shit.
Like, what are you doing? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like
You got bottle service? Who's your hookup? It's like
Exactly.
asking all this kind of other stuff. And but you
It's
know what? So
annoying.
then let me ask you a question then. What do you think is more toxic? Do you think LA culture is more toxic or Las Vegas culture is more toxic?
Depends on
Depends on the situation.
Depends on like yeah exactly. I believe that every situation is circumstantial.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly, I feel like in any instance, like
Yeah.
is the sky red or blue? Well, it depends. Are they colorblind?
Yeah.
Then yeah,
Is
they
it,
probably
is the
see a
sun
different
rising?
color.
Is it
Yeah,
setting? What time of day is
exactly.
it?
Is there like smoke in the sky? Is it fire in the sky? Because I mean
Yeah.
that makes it red, you know. But like as far as LA versus Vegas, I mean, LA just kind of does it different, you know? They're mean and like they're competitive, but they're at least honest and to your face about it. In Vegas, it's not. It's very everyone's talking he said, she said, always talking this shit.
Yeah.
All this and that and spreading all this gossip and drama. And like in Cali, I mean, it's drama and it's intense drama.
Yeah.
But at least you know what's up. At least you know that person sitting across from you hates your fucking guts.
Yeah, out here in Vegas,
you know?
it's like
If like someone I knew who like hated me from Vegas, I couldn't tell the difference. I couldn't tell you.
No.
I really couldn't. I would look them in the
No,
eye
because
and like
you might give them something that they need.
But not even that. It's
whatever.
just like, and sometimes I have good intuition on people.
Yeah.
You know, I can kind of read somebody and be like, okay, they're a decent person, they're a good person. But sometimes, you know, like the ones who are good at hiding that stuff, you know, who knows? They could be thinking the worst of me, and I have no idea out here. You know, it's just different. In LA, they'll tell you. They'll be like, okay, you know, or they'll be like, dude, you're hot. You know, they'll be straight up. Yeah, exactly. They'll be straight up with you. You know, but in Vegas, they just play a bunch of games.
It's all about how you look, how much money you make, who you know.
It's all image and all this cloud
completely
chasing.
Image. I mean, like think about what this city stands on, like what it's for.
Yeah,
you know, like
it's like vanity and greed.
Yeah,
and all
people
that
come
stuff,
here to like exude their vanity.
Yeah, it's
they're like,
city,
oh,
man.
I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna rent a Ferrari,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go snort coke off of a fucking hooker's asshole.
Yeah, you have no
You know
idea
what I'm
how many like
they're gonna do crazy shit.
Yeah, you have no idea how many loaner vehicles, like expensive loaner vehicles I've seen in Vegas.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. Like Lambos for loans, like
Bro,
for rent.
like there's
You know, it's so
there's
funny.
probably like a few thousand Camaros that nobody owns, and they just give them
It's just
to the
rent.
people that show up in the
Right,
city. Like
exactly.
you get a Camaro, you get a Camaro, and everybody's like, yeah, that's right, I'm driving Bumblebee. And it's like, you're not special, dude. You're not special.
You're like, man, dude, anyone could get a freaking Camaro in this city.
I know.
Come on.
Straight up, bro. Go to a rental car place and you can get it, and it's probably one of the cheapest options that they have.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know, that or the Mustangs that they rent out. It's the
true.
same. It's the same shit. You want it blue, you want it yellow, you want it green. We got them in
racing
red.
stripe.
Yeah, they got all kinds of all the stuff in it, and it's crazy that we've. I mean, I wasn't born here, you know, but like we've grown up in this culture where you get to see people be like, look what I got.
Yeah, pretty much.
And not only that, like, look how much I have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this city is super. People care more about their money than their humility.
Yeah.
And they care more about their money than they do like people. You know, they're like, yeah, I don't give a shit if they're suffering.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think of that. Like, where's the humility gone? Where's like the empathy gone? But then you could always argue, did it ever exist in this city? Was there ever a time?
I feel like it's just generational thing too.
Uh-huh.
I feel like people kind of like, not to like subject like certain things, but I feel like people with older parents kind of have more of an understanding with like compassion and empathy and things, and like people who are like have younger parents,
like teen pregnancy parents.
Yeah, kind of like see the world a little different.
They do.
Not in a negative way, or like they just see it more as like, I struggled when I was having you as a child. I was like 22 when I had you.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think they're more
I had
hungry?
to figure out about life. My mom, when she had me, was 40. So she had life figured out already.
Your mom was 40 when she had you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she crazy, man.
She's crazy.
Yeah, so, you know, with my mom, she understood the world a lot better than someone who was 20 and had a child.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I think that's...
Same with my mom. She had me in her 30s.
Right, and I think that's why we kind of understand, you know, treating people with kindness and, like, you know...
Just being human.
And, like, not trashing on somebody, you know, first meeting them, you know, or, like, talking shit first
but
meeting.
to be fair...
You know?
We talk a lot of shit.
But it's because we have some sort of, like... you know, intuition, or we have some sort of information that's already processed that we know, like, okay, that person's
that's
a no-no.
Scummy person.
Yeah, that's a no-no over there.
Yeah.
That dirty Q-tip over there, that's
Fucking
a no-no.
Scum. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, I don't know. I think it's just a culture. It's not a cultural. I mean, like a generation thing, I think. You know?
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, like, with the whole LA and Vegas thing again, I mean, it's just like, you know, LA is just so, like, live. Everything is just 24/7. You know,
people taking photos in every
it's
corner.
crazy. I mean,
everybody's vlogging.
You'll hear bass boosted at 3:30 in the morning on the highways and like in apartments. And I mean, the city is loud all the time. It literally never sleeps. It really doesn't. And like Vegas, kinda. Vegas has a nightlife. You know, it has a certain culture to it. Like, you can't just blast your music at whenever time you want. You know, but in LA, you can, and like people understand. Like, that's who they are. Like, you can't be like, hey, turn that shit down, because they won't. You know, they just won't.
That's you know what? That's accurate. Like, why is it that this is the party capital of the United States?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say the world, but huge place for party.
Right.
But why is it every party we went to
gets shut down?
It's because
it's a lot of underage, a lot of crazy shit, a lot of everything. I mean, it's like I said, it's all circumstantial. It's all what part of town you're in. It's all, you know.
Yeah, because if you're in Henderson, they're like,
lights out at 10.
Y'all better stop down here in Hendertucky.
Yeah, lights out at 10. No,
we're going
honestly,
to sleep.
Yeah, honestly, lights out at 10, man. And like, you know, North Las Vegas, I mean, they probably don't really care too much, you know.
They're just like, as long as y'all aren't shooting, we're chilling.
Pretty much, yeah. There's parties and all kinds of crazy stuff, you know.
Like, you know, it's a Tuesday, and they're like, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like it's Tuesday,
it's Tuesday. You know what that means? Tuesday, Tequila Tuesdays. That's something that's funny though. Have you noticed that? Like at different bars or just the culture here in Vegas, like people are just trying to find reasons to drink. Yeah. They're like Tequila Tuesdays.
Yeah. Vodka Fridays.
Yeah. Don't even rhyme. Don't give a shit. Drink enough, it will. You know. That's like that's the kind of way we're on. And you know what though? I thought it was kind of bad because like my Mexican family drinks. They drink. Okay. Right. And I thought like I understood what that meant. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I was raised in this and like, but then like you live in Vegas and people are getting like liver poisoning on a regular basis. And they're like, pussy. And you're like, what? You mean I'm a pussy because I'm not on the ground vomiting my entrails? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. When people are like, I want to get blacked out drunk, I'm like,
but that's common. Dude, like, it's not even like. You know, some people get blacked out drunk like maybe once a year or like if they're partiers.
But still,
people out here, it's like every Friday. Yeah, I'm just trying to forget my cubicle job. Right. And these people go crazy. They do. They're like, I'm tired of working in this hotel as a clerk, and I don't want to do this shit. And they're like, let me go hit it up at Dre's. Let me go do something and get freaking crazy. And bro, I worked security for like 2 weeks at the Grand Canal shops. Yeah. It was terrible. There were so many times we had to pick drunk people up out of the club and put them in a wheelchair. Wow. And then we'd have to get an ambulance because it's like this dude is just
intoxicated.
And then he's like not breathing. You're like, what's going on?
Yeah, that's crazy.
What do you drink today? Everything.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Yeah, when I did valet too, I mean, we dealt with all kinds of crazy drunks, and especially on New Year's. Oh my goodness. New Year's, wow.
Bro, I don't like going out driving in the city past 10 o'clock. It's not something that I like to do because, like, the drunk drivers are out. It's a thing.
It is.
I don't know many other cities that experience that where they're going out and then it's like, all right, it's drunk driver time. Yeah. So y'all get ready to freaking put your race car hat on and make sure you got to swoop-de-whoop around somebody because there's people that'll be sitting there and you think they're fine and then just start to see just going along.
Exactly.
The amount of marks I see on walls out here is insane, dude.
Crazy.
It makes no sense. Like, how many people are hitting the walls out here, dude? And you see what even crazier, you'll see like marks like where cars are supposed to be, and then you'll see like marks really high, and you're like, how'd you do that? How'd you get up there? You know, and it's not even like a 16-wheeler height. It's like in between. Yeah. So you're like somebody freaking jump kick flip their car and skid it across the side of the wall.
Deck and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're like, what? I want to know what that kind of night was like, you know? I want to put like a nice like GoPro camera and just put it inside their dash cam while they're sitting there like, ooh, yes. Oh, I can't sing that because it'll get copywritten. But, you know, just floating through the air and just see themselves. Yeah. Yeah, dude. I can't imagine.
Oh, man. You know, we have like some of the worst drivers. Like we're like ranked like 50th in driving.
Really?
And like the worst in education and like.
Well, yeah, for sure. The terrible education.
Our shit's bad, but we're number 1 in gambling.
Yeah, I bet.
I think we're the only state that gambles.
You know that they used to have an issue in Clark County with like students making gambling clubs. So they like
really?
That's why they banned the gambling clubs because a lot of these kids would like get really good.
They
at
have
gambling.
a whole ass casino at CSN.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
like,
because it's
or
like
they-
for game. Like that's like gaming license, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what it's for. I'm talking about like these kids would play poker and then be like champions. They'd be like the best.
Oh my gosh.
And
like,
so they, because that, it's like their parents are dealers, and they, and so they become
yes.
they become like really good.
Wow.
And
That's
it was crazy. And I'm not gonna say this person's
Mhm,
name, but
mhm.
I know their mother is
Mhm.
a dealer.
Mhm.
She went to jail because she like, I guess, learned how to cheat the system as a dealer.
Whoa.
And so she went to jail because, and I think she lost her license for it and everything like that. I'm going to give you a little history. You'll know exactly who I'm talking about. This used to be my best friend in middle school. It was that person's parent. Yeah. And it's just like, what? I know you guys are probably like, why are you guys being narcs? How come you're not saying
Whoa.
names? I don't want to air people's business out like that.
Yeah.
But also, it's funny. So,
it's certain people where
There's
we're
context.
like, we should probably mention them. There's some, and we probably should not.
yeah,
Just
absolutely.
Just foregoing,
You know.
That's kind of what
So
you
let's
know.
circle back again to
post boy band.
Yeah.
Okay,
What was
so
you were telling me about a song
Yeah.
that they took, and I was like, I can't remember what
is it too late?
is it was it
They
Is It
took
Too
Is
Late?
It Too Late? Yes. So
Yeah.
basically, after after we left the last manager,
Yeah.
he was like, "Yeah, I'm taking Is It Too Late off of Spotify and all that stuff. Like, that's not yours, it's mine." And just be spiteful, basically.
Yeah.
Because my dad gave him a hard time. My dad's a pretty stern guy. He's a cop out here. He's been doing it for like 22 years. He's pretty stern. So he's a nice guy. He's sarcastic, but let me tell you, rub him the wrong way, and it's no good.
Mhm.
So we cut off with him, and he took the song basically. But the producer we're working with after boy band was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Like, are you guys doing anything, in
Mhm.
California now? Are you guys signed?" And we're like, "Nope." And he was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna come out to Vegas. We're gonna go on the strip. We're gonna have dinner, and we're gonna
Yeah.
talk."
Mhm.
And yeah, sure enough, he talked a pretty good talk apparently, because we signed with him for about maybe like, I don't know, 7 months, I think.
Yeah.
Because we finished in like boy band in like April ish, but we didn't sign right away because I graduated first and then we signed. So it's actually probably more like 5 or 6 months.
Yeah.
And so basically he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this, this, and this, and this, and that, and that." And then we're like, "Okay, cool, that works." So October of that year rolls around, and we have our first session with this guy, and wow, life changing. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, the music we were getting was top tier. Like, this is like radio
I remember
ready,
you sent me
yeah.
some of the tracks.
I know.
And we were in the
Well,
car.
I came back from Cali and met
Yeah.
up with you because we
Yeah.
wanted to do our nutrition, our meal plan and stuff at the time.
That's what I'm talking
we were
about.
on our
were,
meal
yeah.
plan shit, and
It definitely did not
and I
work
told you,
out.
I'm like, "Bro, let me tell you what a weekend we had." You know?
yeah, I remember
So
that.
I mean, I don't know if I'm even allowed to say like who and like what songs we've done, but like
You had I'll put it in preference. Like they had huge features
hip hop
on
stars.
some huge hip hop stars that were
Yeah.
featured on their songs.
Yeah.
And they were already recorded, if I'm
Mhm.
not mistaken. They were
Yeah.
already recorded on the track, and
Right.
all they were waiting for was
Was
for you guys to
Yep.
record on top of it and then
Exactly.
just put it out.
Yeah.
And I remember you showing me some of these tracks with these people
Mhm.
on it, and I was like,
you're like, "What the hell?"
oh my God.
You're
I'm like, I need to buy a suit. My best friend's about to be famous. I was really like, and it's funny because I was like, we were going out to go to like some nutrition place to
Yeah.
like get like a
Total
meal
nutrition,
plan.
yeah.
I think I still have that
Mhm.
gym plan,
The plan
somewhere.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
and I was so hyped about it, and I was like, I gotta go to the gym now, because I can't look like this. Newsflash, I still look like this. It didn't change. But I was like, I gotta do this. My best
Yeah.
friend's gonna be famous. I gotta look good next to him. We gotta do this shit, man. Shit's about to pop off,
Yeah. I mean, that's what we thought at the time too. I mean, we were so
bro. But
excited.
we were
it's
living crazy to not fall into that trap in your
Yeah.
head, because you're like,
Yeah.
bro, you don't see this stuff and then
Mhm.
like think that
You
it's
can't
not
make-
gonna work
you
out.
can't make it up either.
Yeah,
You can't.
you're like
you know.
in my mind, I was
Mhm.
like, this is gonna work. Like
Mhm.
this, but you might as well seal the coffin. It was
Yeah.
ready to go,
Right.
And then
Yeah.
go on with you.
So I came back to Vegas. I showed him my stuff because he was like the first person I showed any of my stuff to. Like when I got it, it took him a while to send it though, and it was all rough mixes and things. It wasn't like the main thing. So we had all the songs done, everything, and then I mean, it just it all kind of just went like downhill from there. I mean, we changed the name again to some random name.
What was it again?
Temperature 76 was the
Temperature
name.
76.
I hated that name. I
I
fought
did
it
too.
for months. I fought it. I was like, I'm not going under that name ever. But no one else was budging, and we were on this for maybe about a month or two.
And why did you guys choose temperature 76 again? What was the reasoning behind
So
that?
in the studio, the temperature in the room was 76 degrees, and Gianni had the idea to name it. Why don't we just go with temperature 76? And so I look at our main producer.
Gianni just has had all of the best
he has
ideas.
all
to
the
this.
good ideas.
We should go to the gym.
Yeah, no.
record
we have a
there.
prom.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. That was like the worst part. But anyway, so like we oh shoot, I lost my place.
You're saying you guys, Gianni was coming out with temperature 76,
yes,
and you hated
it
the
was
name?
76 degrees. I look at our other producer in the room, and I'm like, bro, like that is
We can't do
not.
that.
That's no bueno. And he agreed. He was like, yeah. And this dude is the VP of Atlantic. Like, this is like the guy, you know? He oversees the stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm like telling him, like, bro, that's no good, man. He's like, I agree. That sounds too much like 98 Degrees, like that boy band from like way back when. And he was like, and I was like, yeah, man, it does.
Also, it was just like too hard to say. Like, can
Temperature
you imagine?
76.
Can you imagine
that's
like
a lot.
a foreign fan? Yeah, I can't even do an accent. They're like,
temperature.
temperature 76. Oh my god, I love them. Temperature 76. Bro, I can't imagine that, dude. I can't like. They're like, oh yeah, or like some dude with like a heavy accent. You're like, oh yes, from like the Eastern, like the Balkans. You know, they're like, oh, this is my favorite. I love temperature 76. They're the ones that this is my gym. My gym. You know, like, I never thought it hit, bro.
Oh my god.
And the minute you told me that, you were like, these are the names we're going with. I was like, oh, you had a good name in
we
there.
had Trilogy, we had Atlantic, we had Trifecta, we had Platinum Rose, we had
That was my favorite, Platinum Rose.
That's
Yeah.
probably what I'll probably use that in something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of crazy names, and then we actually decided to just scrap all that, keep temperature, but take out all the vowels basically.
I remember that.
And like a couple other
yeah.
letters,
And it was like
so it's
TMPTR or something.
TMPTR
Yeah.
is what it ended up becoming. So we were
a lot
temperature.
of brand changing.
Yeah, so we
Mhm.
were temperature, and this was 2018 now. This is like my first year UNLV, and like this is all that stuff. Yeah, so I went to UNLV for like a year, and I hated it. It's the worst thing that ever happened. And yeah, so I did that, and so basically what had happened, we met this other guy. He was like our fashion guy for like all of our photo shoots and stuff like that, but he was also a producer on the side. And so our main producer, there's a lot of producers, by the way. There's like 3 of them. It's a lot to keep up with, especially without names. I don't want to drop names, you know.
Yeah.
So our main producer, the one who signed us on, was like, yeah, this is going to be your guy for a while. This is going to be your main guy. And I was like, well, what about the other producer, you know, like, because like that's a little sus. Like, where'd he go, you know?
Mm-hmm. Why are you changing it up on me of like who's in charge?
But what I didn't know at that time, but now I know, was that he was assaulted in the studio on a live. He was on Instagram Live.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 guys come into the studio while he was on the live, pointed a gun at his head, like on the live. This is on Instagram Live.
Yeah.
And they took some money and some jewelry and they left. They dipped and caused this whole beef, this whole drama between the 2. So they stopped talking. They stopped working with us. But we didn't know this. We had no idea what was going on. So when they were like, we have another guy who's going to help you guys out, we're like, that's a little sus, you know, that's a little weird. And it got to a point, too, where they were like, yeah, we can't be using the studio anymore. It's like, you guys are going to have to record it, you know, somewhere in Vegas. And thank God I had Logic at the time.
Yeah.
And, like, I had a little bit, like, very minimal experience with recording. Like, this is, like, the beginning of 2018. Like, and I just got my laptop in November, you know? So it was hard to transition, but we did it anyway. So he sent us these 2 beats. They were awful. The worst thing we ever heard. It was bad. So what I had to do, right, I had to go in. I took the beat that they sent. I had to chop it up, you know, arrange it better because it was bad. The arrangement was like every 4 bars, it was something different. And it just didn't flow and nothing worked. So I had to chop it up, copy, paste, whatever I had to do. And then then I sent the boys the arrangement that I made, and like we're gonna roll with this because whatever he sent was garbage,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then he sent us another one. It's like more poppy and like it's bad quality and all this other stuff. So I'm like, all right, I have to work with what we got, you know. And so we wrote the songs. They're actually pretty good songs. They're not the best, but they're pretty good for what we have. You know what I mean? And we sent them to them. And they're like, yeah, it's good. It's good. But that was it. Like, that's all we got. Nothing, like, they're not using it. We're not putting on the project. None of that stuff. So then we're like, look, man, like, we got to do something. Like, we got to work or something. And he was like, yeah, just come out to California and we'll work on something. So that's when I decided to go platinum. I did the front platinum and I had my ear pierced.
I remember
all that stuff. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So I had a whole new look going on with sunglasses.
If I can find a photo, we're gonna put it somewhere.
Yeah, I'll find some.
'Cause
I have plenty.
I
trust me.
remember that, and
Yeah, it was a lot.
it was a time.
Yeah, it was a lot.
How long ago was that?
It was
like a year ago?
2018. Yeah.
2018. Oh, that was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the beginning of 2018. And then I immediately regretted it because I should have just done either all of it or none of it. Honestly, I had a patch. Like this curly part here was platinum. All this was platinum, and the rest were just brown. So it looked very awkward. But
and then after time, it stopped being platinum, and it got yellow.
Well, no, it was first it was ginger.
Yeah.
It was ginger because the girl who did my hair forgot to put toner in it. She
Mhm.
forgot to do it basically.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
just bleached it and was like, "All right, cool, you're done." You know,
Like,
she didn't put
nope.
anything in it. Yeah. So then I had to go to Jay's mom's salon, and she's the one who finished my hair and stuff. But what I didn't know is that the bleach, a second time, you know, trying to bleach your hair a second time fries it. It kills your hair.
damages your hair.
And I was in that fryer, like the heat thing, you know, you put like I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
a thing on, and you sit under there for a while. I sat under there for an hour and a half.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my face was burning, bro. It was like all here and here was just burning.
Bro, I'm surprised you're not bald like me.
Ugh, it was crazy, man. It was a lot. Like my hair was hot, like hot.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking like after I already did it. After it was already colored. It was still hot. It was still hot, man. I was like, what do you do to my hair? But it did get the color I wanted, but it killed my hair. It just was fried and like little wavy.
I remember your ends were like
A lot.
something.
So that's why I shaved my head. I buzzed it all off because I couldn't deal with it anymore. And at this time now, we're with our main producer again, the one who signed us on. And we're like, he wants to do an EP. You know, he wants to do a project. Our first full-length project in 11 years. We never had a full-length album or EP or whatever. We've only had singles.
Yeah.
And we never even released. We've only released maybe 5 out of the 100 that we've had over the years, you know? So basically, we go back out to California. We do photo shoots with all the new looks and everything. And, like, we became this whole new group. It was weird. And we got a bunch of songs that we had to learn and choreograph and all this great stuff. And, like, we were close. We were this close to putting it out. Like, not even, like, this close.
Yeah.
And the songs were good. They weren't as great as when we did in October, but they were pretty still radio ready. They were still good, you know. Sure enough, you know, it just didn't end up working out, and we lost all the songs again. I mean, we have them all, obviously. We have them, but we can't release them or anything like that. So,
Yes.
yeah. So now, after all of that, Dante was like, yeah, I'm going to college, and
I don't want to do this
you
anymore.
know, yeah, he was like, you know, it's not my passion. I love music and I love performing with you guys, but the business in itself is not for me.
Yeah.
It's just I don't have the heart and the work for.
They make it too hard and complicated. With
Yeah,
all
because
that
I mean,
stuff.
a lot of the time too, even when like we were younger and stuff, he always had a hard time because like we were always so hard on him. You know, just we wanted to be perfect. We wanted to be good. You know.
And you
and,
guys
like,
were great. Like your guys' harmonies were
tried.
so tight.
It's just because
You guys got your voice parts down.
It's because we
perfect.
tried, man. We really wanted it, you know, and it just.
Yeah, I used to get so annoyed
I know.
during high school because I'm like, yo, bro, let's
Everybody.
come out, let's chill,
Yeah.
let's hang out, let's do something, let's make music,
Yeah,
let's do
exactly.
whatever. And you're like, I
got
gotta practice.
rehearsal.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta
I got
rehearse. I gotta
rehearsal.
practice.
Oh.
And I'm just sitting there like,
Yeah, it's work,
What?
man. Yeah, it's a lot of work, you know,
Mhm.
being in a boy band. So don't discredit your boy bands out there because they work hard.
So,
Yeah.
on that thought of
Mm,
music being way too hard to make
mm,
and dealing with all kinds of stuff,
mm.
we have our first sponsor.
Yes.
We're a brand new podcast
that
and we have a
time.
sponsor? Dude, get out of here. Okay. I have my phone because I got to read it. I'm not an
Sorry.
actor. Do I look like an actor? I don't memorize shit. So, the sponsor of this podcast is Stone Cold. Stone Cold producer,
That's me.
based in Las Vegas, who works with R&B and pop influenced tracks, but nails any style of music. You guys like EDM, hip hop, rock, anything. Go to the Stone Cold producer himself, Santino Cardinale. It's a new business that he has started, and man, you guys are gonna hear some of the tracks at the beginning of this. If you guys follow the YouTube channel, please do like and subscribe. But you're gonna see a lot of his music that I've used his services to put in the background, and I'm gonna keep using it because this guy helps me with everything. All right, so you guys just go ahead to his Instagram or email and DM him for prices and information on any of your musical needs.
All of them.
Tell me a little bit about this new business that you started.
Okay, so after everything happened with temperature kind of collapsing and the story kind of ends, right? A new one begins. So December of 2018, I decided to go solo, start my own, music and things. And just getting the niche of like producing and stuff like that. Because I was always curious, like how can I make something? Like how do I make a track? How do I make beats or something? Like how do I make music, right? And I've done it since like my senior year on GarageBand and stuff. And they weren't good, obviously. They were just starters and stuff.
Good enough.
Yeah, and over time, obviously, it got better. But anyway, so in November, I just decided to say fuck it, let's write a song. Let's see if I can do it actually. And as soon as like I started, I made this piano loop or whatever, and I made the hook, and it just that was it. That's all I needed.
And what song was that?
Want You. It's
Want You.
Yeah, my song Want You.
If you guys have time, go to Spotify, look up Santino Cardinale, and then you'll be able to find all of his latest singles.
Yeah, I'll get into that in a second too.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this was the first one I did. It's called Want You. It's my baby basically. It's my first one. I produced the whole thing, vocals, everything by myself, using Logic. Shouts out Logic, the best, honestly. So I did that, and I produced and I made the hook that night. I slept on it, and this whole vision just popped in my head, like not in my sleep, but when I was working on it. And I heard all kinds of stuff like voices and dissonances and all this crazy stuff just in my head. I'm like, whoa, hold on, time out. Like there's too much going on. So I go to my computer, I log in, and I just start going. And I don't even remember any of it, honestly. Like I wish I could tell you like what was happening, but I could not tell you to save my life. It was somebody else controlling me. I gotta be honest. Like it felt like the music it was like a force, like the Skywalkers, they fucking used the force, That's what it felt like. It just felt so right. And like I didn't feel like I did it. It felt like somebody else was doing it for me. It was the weirdest thing. And sure enough, I feel like I come to and I have a whole song ready
and the rest
to go.
is history.
Yeah, that's it. And that was the birth of my solo career.
Some of the rap tracks that I write, I'm like, there's no way. I'm not smart enough to write this shit,
It's
dude.
hard, man.
And and it's crazy that sometimes it just comes together and you put on something and it just works. Yeah. And if you guys want it to work as smoothly as possible, I highly recommend that you use Santino's services. They're so good. I know it's like, oh, this dude's your best friend, but I really do think that like you put out some quality stuff, bro. Genuinely, I wish that when I first started making rap music or when I first started singing music, I really wish that I had somebody to make stuff, because I was like, I didn't know how to do any of this stuff.
Right.
I'm still trying, and I'm so bad at it. You know what I'm saying? And I really wish that I had a service that I could go to that would just like, hey, these are the ideas that I like. This is what I'm going for. Could you do something like this for me?
Yeah.
And let me make it. I asked, or I DM Santino through his Instagram asking about what I could do to I needed some tracks, and so I didn't know what to do, and I was like, I need these in the next 2 weeks. He got it done for me in a day, 2 days. Okay, so if you guys are worried about him getting to you
on time, I try to work as diligently and as fast as I can.
Like, this is partially why I can't get this guy out of his house, because he's doing this all the time.
I'm always doing something,
And
it's true. Because from Want You came like all my other songs, like My Bad, and even some before my other like 3 singles that I have. I started my first album I guess you want to call it. I didn't produce the whole album. I produced a couple singles off the album, and they were good enough to be in it, I guess. So that was cool. Because I just kind of like, I hope you like these. I mean, I don't know if you will, but just see if you like them, you know?
Yeah.
Sure enough, they end up using them on the album. And then, and then Jazzy had her single, I Don't, which was I produced as well.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do any of the vocals on that one, though. That was all.
Oh, I got to get her on the podcast.
Connection, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, from there, it just became like, I became like the producer for the, like my brothers and the group and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
And then like all of the last year, I just been producing tracks, some you'll never hear, like ever, because they're god awful.
Yeah.
There's practice.
Yeah,
there's practice in it.
Yeah.
And some you may hear, some you might enjoy, some
Mm-hmm.
might like actually change your life, I don't think I ever told you this story. One time we posted a cover on our YouTube of a Beatles song.
You guys did?
Mhm.
Like 3 card?
Yeah, years
Okay.
ago. This is like my junior year, I think.
Uh-huh.
And this lady,
Is it still on YouTube?
I don't know. I don't know if it is. But
You better find it.
yeah, so like she came out to one of our shows and was like, I watched your cover of Yesterday and it changed my life. And I said, what do you mean? And she was like, I was in a suicide circle. And
A what?
a suicide
suicide
circle. So they
circle?
all sit in a circle,
Uh-huh.
I guess, and they like
Commit. Oh my
commit
god.
suicide. Yeah. And she said, before she was about to commit, she wanted to watch, us sing, or she wanted to hear, us
Yeah.
sing something, because she was a fan.
Is this
she
a
was
grown
fan.
woman?
No, she was like she was
Oh.
high school or whatever.
'Cause that's weird.
Yeah,
Like
no.
a 40-year-old woman
no,
telling you guys.
No, it's like a high school girl.
Yeah.
She was young.
Okay.
And she was like, no, you guys really saved my life. I mean, you put out that cover, and I literally stopped. I cried. I bent over. I was like, I got to get out of here. She left.
You guys have this cover. I don't know if it's on Instagram. You sing Ariana Grande's
Raindrops.
Raindrops.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, it is one of my you guys, your guys' harmonies are so tight.
Yeah.
And you probably don't
That's
like it,
fair.
but you're a critic.
Mhm.
Everybody's a huge critic of their own
Mhm.
stuff, but I've seen so many of these little TikTokers, like all these people try to do their own cover of this stuff. It's my favorite, like my absolute favorite.
Wow.
You guys killed it, like.
Oh, man, appreciate
And maybe
that. That's
I probably
cool.
have a bias, probably, but genuinely, you know how tough I am on people
Yeah,
and how
it's
tough I am on
true.
musicians and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I genuinely I think you had it on your Instagram for a while.
Mhm. It's on YouTube still, too.
Is it on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it and I was just like, wow, like the
Mhm.
buildup of
Mhm.
when she cries.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, you guys did that like
Yeah.
it's almost like the same like strength of like when they just belt the Star Spangled Banner, you guys just freaking you
Get
attained
goosebumps.
you guys attain that
Mhm.
level of like power and
Yeah.
strength, and it's
It's such a good like arrangement.
it makes me like,
Mhm.
bro, I just I love you guys, and I love you guys, the music that you put out.
Really too, man.
And I love everything that you do. I'm so proud to be your best friend. And I don't say that enough.
Shit.
Like when the tracks that you help me with the fact that you're so kind, like this man, I've had to implore him to go out and get people to use him as a service, because
Mm.
Santino used to do stuff like for free, and I'm like, bro,
Mhm.
this can't be free, dude. You're too
Yeah.
good at this stuff. Like, what are you talking about, man? You
Man.
can't make this free.
Nah, man.
And you're still too nice with how much you price it at. Very, very low
Still.
prices for the stuff that you do.
I
And
mean,
I'm just like, if any of you guys get a chance, I think I'm gonna have Jazzy on the podcast, and then we can go
Cool.
ahead and put her album there.
Yeah.
And we can promote her album.
Cool.
It is so good. And Santino, you produced 100% of it, right?
Mhm. The whole thing.
And it is it was great when we went to the listening party. It was absolutely amazing, and like
Thanks. Yeah.
arguably my favorite part. I loved it. I loved it a lot. Not saying Jazzy's amazing, but I'm saying like
yeah,
hearing it,
production,
like
right.
knowing that you did that,
Yeah.
and like you said, you didn't start getting into production till 2018,
Mhm.
right?
Well, I mean,
Well, a little bit
obviously
before that.
yeah.
And I'm just like, to think about your journey, and I
Mhm.
when you put out Want You,
Mhm.
I said it back then. I was like, the
Mhm.
how you used to make music, and then where it became. It's
Mhm.
just like
I became an artist.
it's
you know?
absolutely
Yeah.
it's a night and day.
Right.
It's night and day.
Yeah. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. No. I mean,
course,
don't get
brother.
me wrong though. He's hella talented too. He's one of the best rappers alive. He can
my
freestyle
God.
his ass off. You know, I could play.
You guys,
I could play,
will get a taste of my music sometime soon.
Yeah.
It'll probably be a few weeks after this podcast,
Yeah.
but it's coming.
It's
and,
good stuff. One time we actually sat in the car, like just outside his house, and we like
Like 2
freestyle.
in the morning.
We freestyle for maybe like 2 hours,
yeah.
2.5 hours. And
Oh yeah.
he was pouring some stuff, man. It was good. I mean, he's also like one of the best rappers I heard in a while, and like his flows are nice too. If you guys are into flows, 'cause I know a lot of rappers like flows.
No,
I'm just saying,
No more hyping me
He's
up.
got
I don't
some.
wanna hear
He's
this.
got some good stuff. I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
wanna hear
lie.
this stuff
No,
more.
but I mean, like seriously, man. This is like this is why it's cool to have a
God damn
rapper
it. The
friend.
viewers are gonna be like, "Why are these guys fluffing each other's
Like,
dicks
dude.
so hard?"
Oh,
Second.
sorry, audience. Yeah, sorry, people. Hey, how you doing, guys? How's it happening? Oh, we got 1 hour 34 minutes on this one. Well, that concludes the podcast. We hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, so let's just wrap this up. I'm so glad that you came, dude.
too.
I literally
fun.
I had no idea who my first guest was gonna be,
Mhm.
and I was like low key struggling because
Yeah.
I was
Right.
I was nervous.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you have to think of everything. Like, how do I want to present this? What do I want to call it? You know, you were
Yeah.
struggling to even come up with a
this
name.
morning.
Yeah, literally. You were like,
This
it's gonna be
morning.
called the Jungle Podcast.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, okay,
Cool. I love that. No, I love it. And like, the
Yeah.
way you explained it, you're like, yeah, we just talk about wild shit, man. And you'll see it. You know, when we come back, we'll be talking about all kinds of crazy
Oh my
stories
God, I
we've had
can't
over
wait.
the years.
I
and-
cannot wait. This is the introduction
Yeah.
to the beautiful, talented Santino Cardinelli,
Yeah.
and we're gonna have some great ones.
Correct.
And I hope we get to see you more often, bro.
I mean, yeah.
I hope we
I'll
get you on the
be-
podcast more. It's always a
Yes.
pleasure for you to be here.
Yeah. I'll always be around. You know that. I'll always be here.
Yeah. So again, guys, go check out his services. I'm gonna have his Instagram and email linked in the description.
I'm
Alrighty,
more than
brother.
happy with that.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Jungle Podcast, baby. Yeah.
First
You hear that?
episode.
Hear that
All
pop
right.
though? That was good. That pop was nice.
Alrighty.
Well, that's excellent.